There is a lot of getting started in Knockerball or with any business. Fortunately, Knockerball is very, very simple to set up, but it's important to do things correctly the first time. Take that from somebody who's made a couple of mistakes, and hopefully you won't make them either after watching this. So I'm going to go through a couple of things with you. Forgive me, I'm going to look off to the side because I did make some notes because I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But setting up your business contact information, obviously that's one of the most important things that you can do. Your phone and your email. Now, you want to really take this to the professional level that you want your business to be thought of. So I would highly recommend a separate phone line. Now, certain phones out there, I have an iPhone, I think it's called an XR. And what this one will do is allow me to have two phone numbers that come to the same phone. So I'm able to have my personal phone and I'm able to have my business phone, two separate voicemails. And it's just a matter of clicking through which one I want to use. But it allows me to separate my business from my personal use. I can answer either one, and oftentimes I do. But in terms of doing your taxes for your phone bill, all those kinds of things and keeping yourself separate, having a separate phone line is a good idea. Not many people have landlines anymore, from what I can tell, but that's also a way that you could go. I just personally really like it on the cell phone because that way my business is always with me no matter where I am. When it comes to an email, I'm going to recommend to you, and this is something I didn't do at the very beginning. I started off with just the Gmail account, and I've seen all kinds of different things, but Gmail is a popular one. But as you grow in the business, this is probably going to be something that you want to change. You don't want this, even if it's starting off this way, you don't want it to appear as though you're just a small-time operator. You want it to be as professional as it can possibly be. So what I did was I had my email tied to my website. So, and Knockerball can do this for you. There is a minor extra charge. I don't really know what it is. It might be like $5 a month or something like that to set this up. Or maybe there's no monthly charge, or there's a small upfront charge. I'm not sure. Everybody in the home office can certainly help you with that. But what I did was when I created my website, I called it Knockerball NC, as in North Carolina. Well, rather than have Doug@gmail.com or whatever that might be, I wanted to go with it. So I came up with Doug@knockerballnc.com. Just comes off very professional. And I would like to encourage you to do something along the same lines. And then everything just sort of flows. My Facebook page is Knockerball NC. My website is Knockerball NC. My email is Knockerball NC. And you really get your own brand out in addition to the brand of Knockerball. So definitely two really big things that you want to do. Also, if you're going to put an address on there, I live in an apartment, but for my own just thoughts of, hey, let's make it really, really professional. Instead of writing apartment 103, I put suite 103. The mail still gets to me. And I don't really get very much mail anymore. So, everything's electronic. So it doesn't really matter, but it looks pretty good if it's on there as Suite 103 versus Apartment 103. And I legitimately do all my business out of here. I work from home when I'm not out on a field somewhere. And my garage, as you've seen in other training videos, is a complete office and storage facility for me. So legitimately, all of that works into not only professionalism, but also my taxes. And every way that we do that as far as writing off space and utilities and the portions that you're legally allowed to do with. So that kind of also takes me into who should your team be when you do this business. And again, I would not try to be the number one person at everything you do in your business. Find out what it is that you're really, really good at and focus on those areas and hire the right people to do things in these other areas. And in the beginning, that includes people like your accountant. Do you have a CPA? Highly, highly advise you to work with a CPA in doing your business taxes because they know all the ins and outs. They know what's needed, whether you have to pay quarterly taxes, whether you don't need to pay attention to that right away. Whatever it may be, they're going to be able to guide you and be there for you in the event that anything ever needed to be added or explained or anything like that. But you can rest assured, if you have a good CPA, then your taxes are going to be done correctly, not only for you as an individual, but also for your business. An attorney is another great person to have in your back pocket with you, because you may have some business questions. Maybe you want to have them review the waiver that Knockerball provides to make sure that it is in tune with whatever area you're in and covers all the things that you really need to be having it cover. So always a great idea to have them do it. And these are all things that are nominal in cost, really, when you look at the big picture of what they might save you in the future if something ever went wrong. You just want to protect yourself. It wouldn't take much, right, for something to go wrong and derail a lot of things and take you off your game, and you just don't want that to happen. So, you know what? Put it in place right now. It's insurance for you. Think of it as like fire insurance or life insurance. You certainly hope your dwelling doesn't burn down, and you certainly hope that you don't die anytime soon. But having insurance in place is always a good idea, because you just don't know. So have a CPA in place, have an attorney in place, have all those things backed up, documented, do it right the first time, and then just go have fun with your business. There are a number of places you can take advantage of to set up your own business. I will tell you that I try to do some of this stuff on my own. And for me, it was just completely frustrating. And I was like, why am I even doing this? So I recommend, and it's all up to you how you want to do it, but I called LegalZoom. And honestly, within an hour, I was done. I was set up. I was documented. I paid a fee to have them do that. But then they went back and they put in place everything that I need for my company. Inside of here, which is this really nice binder together, and inside of this are all the forms that you would ever need to track meetings, to, if you have somebody who wants to buy into your business, give them a certificate, but everything is in place here. Ledgers, minutes, operating agreement, certificates of organization, your stamp, whatever it is you need, they are in place. And then once you're with them, it's a matter of just calling into LegalZoom. And if you need legal help, they can help you out in that area as well. But they've really been great. They put together for me, my articles of organization. So that's done. It shows up. It's in my book. Everything's signed, dated, documented, notarized, whatever it has to be. It's all set up. My operating agreement as an LLC in the state of North Carolina, SS4 applications, whatever you need, they've got it. And it makes it really simple. And it's a phone call or an email away. And seriously, you're going to invest, an hour, maybe 2 hours into the whole thing versus trying to figure the whole thing out on your own. Also would suggest a separate bank account. Separate yourself from your business and your personal, again, because at some point, you know what, you're going to need to have checks. I don't write very many of them. I got the very basic just so I could have them. But in the event that you need to write checks, or, you have to have a checking account to do things. So make sure you get that taken care of and just have everything you need for your business. You may be aware of something called merchant services. If you've never been in business before, maybe you don't know about that. It was new to me when I first started this. Well, merchant services are those services that allow you to be able to have people pay in other ways than just cash or check, which is how most people do it these days. Might be PayPal, might be Venmo, all kinds of ways. You could go through QuickBooks, you could go through Square. I said PayPal, even ERS. I'm going to show you a little bit more about ERS, but you can use all these as your merchant services. And there's another one out there too called Autobooks. Autobooks is typically gotten by working with a bank that employs that system. It's typically community banks, I believe, mostly. I have a friend that works there and he told me a little bit about it, so I thought it was worth mentioning. And you don't need QuickBooks and things like that if you're working with that particular bank. So you just have to find out if there's a bank in your area that offers something like that, or inquire about it. But basically it does all of your accounting and so forth. So when you do meet with your CPA at tax season, you just print the reports out and hand them over and you're good to go. So make all that stuff as simple as you possibly can. I think I'm going to stop at that point. I'm going to talk about one other thing in terms of your team insurance. So Susan is who we always work through, and she's going to make sure you have everything you need. So again, you can't have any events without having the insurance in place. I don't believe your website will be activated until there's verification that your insurance is in place. So make sure you get that link taken care of that I showed you before, and get all the insurance requirements taken care of so that you can be in business. I'm going to end this part of getting started with that, and we'll come into some other things in a little bit. Thank you.